Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Hello.
Hello.
And Happy New Year. Welcome back to the show. This is a show where since last March, we're comedians that went into lockdown, didn't have much to do. And so we started doing a comedy show where we solve problems. We were called Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems, but we came out of quarantine in the spring. So we modified the name, but we've kept the show going ever since because we've enjoyed doing it and because there haven't been a lot of live gigs basically here in the UK. And it's basically where we go through problems, solve them. Pretty easy peasy. So thank you for joining us. You can check us out on the YouTube channel, where that's probably the most active place to chat with us as well. You can send us problems too, and you can interact with each other as well. And if you're on Facebook, you can share it so people can see what you're watching as well. And you can tweet us throughout the show to let us know what's going on. And if at any point you do enjoy what we're doing, or we make you chuckle, or make you just feel good about the new year, which is so exciting, which I'm going to say Happy New Year to Steve here in just a second, then you can chuck us a coffee if you want to, and all currencies are accepted, even rubles.
Why not?
Yeah. Just saying.
If you've got any of that Bitcoin hanging around as well, we'll have some of that.
I know you're watching Snowden. He's a big fan of the show. So that's what we do. That's who we are. Let me just say, it's the first time I've seen you in 2021, Steve. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Hey, 2021.
Good, isn't it? I mean, we made it through 2020, didn't we? And I mean, it was obviously hard for a lot of people. It was just a tough year all around. There's just no other way to say it, but that is it. It's over, isn't it, Steve? This is it. This is 2021. It's a new year. It's a new opportunity, and I'm so excited. It's going to be great, isn't it? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
First story that we need to solve. Lockdown. We're back, baby. Do-do-do-do. It's like we never left. Do-do-do-do. We're back to where it all started. You, me, in a lockdown and some crazy restrictions and nothing else to do other than a show.
But you told me to do like a good Happy New Year to welcome everybody back and be excited about 2021. It's the start of Series 3 of the show. You said to be really pumped about that. What are you good?
Because that is the appropriate level of joy in terms of the ratio of the year. We all thought 2021 couldn't be worse than 2020. What? And that's all you get. Because a couple of days of things being fine, and now look where we are. So yeah, it's time to address the biggest elephant in the room, the biggest news story, the biggest problem we have to sort out is that David Bowie's Mrs. Iman says that she'll never get married. What? No, wait a minute. That makes sense, because of course you're not going to marry again. You'll never meet anyone because we're all in lockdown. Lockdown number 3. Yep, it happened. That difficult sequel. And it's not going that well. It's like Back to the Future, the third one. Yeah. So if there's the headline from the BBC, PM announces 4-week England lockdown. It's a 4-week lockdown, which as we all know means it could last for months. That's how math seems to work these days. So maybe it'll be gone by summer. Who knows? We're back where it all started. I must admit, I thought I was better at lockdowns than I've been today. Like I did my government mandated exercise. Good. And really committed to the bit. You know, I smuggled out some dirt in my trouser pockets to sprinkle out my trouser leg because of the tunnel that I'm digging. You know, I really committed to that. And I looked back and remembered lockdowns as being quite easy. You know, it's just a little bit of baking, a little bit of watching telly. Even managed to get that wrong. Today I baked a tiger loaf and watched an episode of Sour King. So I'm just... yeah. So it's harder than it looks. We're back to where it all started. Who could have predicted this coming? Not even the guy who actually told us it was happening, because Prime Minister Boris Johnson, like 24 hours before the lockdown was talked about, Boris Johnson says, send your kids to school. They're safe. Off you go. 1 day of learning is worth it, apparently. But it was a Monday. No one did any learning on a Monday. You know, if you're going to have 1 day at school, a Wednesday you get stuff done, Friday you'd enjoy, but Monday, what was the point of that? As the front page of the Daily Star points out, he's done a lot of U-turns on this. It is true to say that Boris Johnson has done so many U-turns that if he tries to run off now, he'll veer off to one side and crash into the swings. I think that is that's the one time we've all done that much turning around. Is back at school. He'd spin around for a while and it's the only exercise I do these days.
You shouldn't be in that school year.
I should be. No one else is. It's technically COVID secure. What I don't understand, though, is because for a while I was saying, okay, we need to shut the schools. I'd not really known because I didn't have any skin in this game for a long while. But then when you just see that the two highest infected groups, according to the testing, little asterisk, they are being tested more, was secondary school children followed by primary school children. So even if they're not spreading it to as many people, which is a debated issue, it's still a source of virus. If these kids spread it to one member of the family and the member of the family spreads it to other people, you're a few degrees, you're 6 degrees away from everyone on Earth, and that's how people are going to die. So I was like, yep, it's time to shut the schools. And what I don't understand is, why is it that the people who get so angry and say things like,
well, I think it's ridiculous that they're shutting the schools,
they're also the same people who say things like,
I don't know why they bother teaching what they do in schools. I ain't used Pythagoras since I was a kid.
So I guess they shouldn't mind kids not being in schools if you don't think they're teaching anything. If you think they shouldn't teach Pythagoras in schools, I guess you're okay with them cutting corners and you never knowing what the length of the revealed side is. That's right. I'm dropping hypotenuse jokes on the show.
You're doing math jokes.
And yet
this is our first show of the year.
For some reason, not breaking through to the mainstream. Don't get it. But factually correct. That is how you'd work out that side. Look, so many people have been upset by this. I'm trying to find the reasons to be funny on Twitter. I'm trying to be funny about it, but it is difficult, especially when you read stories like this. Even Joe Wicks has said that he's finding it difficult, that he feels low because of this third national lockdown. And I'm genuinely surprised by that because he was one of those people who did really well out of the first lockdown.
Yeah.
He's launched his career.
Subscribers? Whew.
Exactly. Loads of people did his fitness program. I didn't do his fitness program. I opted for a different one. I did Captain Tom's. It was much better. And it didn't get me as fit, but it was a piece of piss to absolutely walk all over his personal best. Oh, my days. But he's had a lot of subscribers, Joe Wicks. I thought he would have seen this lockdown as a chance to flog some DVDs or whatever.
Yeah.
But according to the article, he said he does find it difficult. And I thought, you know what? If I'm managing to be positive, Joe, and I know you love the show, you'll be watching, you can find it positive too. Come on, you can do it. And I read further into the article, and it said that the thin and attractive man who has no problem with his weight, a full head of hair, a career that's actually working, and is married to a page 3 girl, sometimes feels a bit down. And I thought, well, so do I now. Flipping. So well done, Joe. I mean, thanks to that. He feels down, I feel down. Read a bit further into the article, and according to him, you know what's one good thing that can help to lift a low mood? Exercise. He's trying to flog his flipping DVDs again. Hello, I'm Joe Wicks, working a flipping angle. Darn it. So look, we're back in lockdown. No one likes this. Even people who are in favour of lockdowns aren't like, yay, lockdown. I described it earlier today as like Churchill's quote about democracy. It's the worst system except for all other systems. Lockdowns are terrible. They are the worst things apart from all other ways of trying to solve this. The great Barrington Declaration, my bottom. So that's the situation we're in. Let's try and make this as short and as effective as possible so we can get back out there. And that is why the government has reverted back to its original slogans.
Yeah.
I think they missed a trick. I think they needed to stick to their latest slogan but make it far scarier so that people actually stay inside. And that is why I pitched this.
I wash my hands to protect my family.
I'll cover my face so that they don't know who I am.
I'll make space to protect my nan.
Hands.
Face.
Space.
I'll wash my hands to get rid of the evidence.
I wear a face covering to protect strangers.
I'll make space so they don't know I'm there. Hands.
Face.
Space.
So please, wash hands, cover face, make space.
Cured it.
Nice. I didn't realize you'd gotten that gig. Well done.
Yeah. I've been applying for a
paid work
lot
for
of
the government.
voiceover gigs. That's all I've been doing.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, I mean, being back in lockdown in the UK, I mean, it hasn't brought a lot of positives, I suppose, because I've got kids, and they're not positive, but they're back in the house, so I'm not sure. not sure what's worse. But I have seen one thing that actually is quite positive about this lockdown that I hadn't seen before. And I had never heard of this woman, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm joined by the former Speaker of the House of Commons, Baroness Betty Boothroyd.
I didn't know about the Baroness. Do you know about the Baroness Boothroyd?
I'm more aware of a body of work before being called Baroness, when she was just Speaker of the House, Betty Boothroyd, back in the old Tony Blair days.
Well, she left the house around the same time that I came to the UK, and plus, when I first got to the UK, which is when we met, I don't think either of us was following much Parliament back then, because we were on the comedy circuit starting out, and if Baroness was a drink, then we would have known her.
Wait, I was working on breakfast on GWR in Wiltshire, so that was the crucible of all topical debate, I can tell you.
All right, that's maybe later on. But she came on Sky News to talk about the fact that she's been one of the first people to get the vaccine, and that she's not very happy with the government changing the protocols about the vaccine because they're pushing back the second dose, aren't they? So that more of us can get a little bit. It's like somebody, I suppose it's kind of like somebody expecting to get the doobie passed to them, but then the doobie goes round the full circle again before they get another chance. You know,
right? Puff
reference
pass.
of the
Okay.
Reference. I know you're big onto the drugs.
There are two things I know, and that's drugs and maths. And I'll wait until you've done the jokes before I do the maths about why it's a really good idea to only do one doses. But let's not ruin the flow right now.
Let's not ruin the flow right now. She's upset about delaying the dose, and he asks her about it, how she feels about it here.
Oh, yes, I've had that willingly so. Yes, indeed. And I'm looking forward to the second.
Right. Well, tell me why you're so worried about the change of policy and the longer period.
Well, that question there that he asked, tell me why you're so worried about this policy, was the last word he got in that entire conversation. I can see why her title was Speaker, because she did not stop. She was ready, and she brought the receipts, as we can see here.
What the government is doing has been done in the face of what Pfizer say, who actually manufacture the vaccine. And I've got their words here. I'm not going to mumble them. I'm going to read them to you correctly.
I've got 5 books I'm going to read to you right now, Sonny. I'm not going to mumble like you young prick. She was ready to go. And he tried. He tried to jump in there and take back control a couple times.
Agency.
Right. Okay, well now, so...
And now they're wanting to fall short of it.
Can I get a word in now?
I think you might. Go on.
That's the laugh of, oh, fuck you old Baroness. This is my show. But she is not having any of it. She carried on.
Who had this commitment from the government, we're going to protect you, we're going to give you this vaccine, we're going to give you and we're going to help you through in the future. And then what they do, they turn tail. I've seen some U-turns in the last few weeks, but this is the daddy of them all.
Now, I get a little bit worried when somebody of her age starts telling me about things they've seen in the past, because there's times where you've had that happen where grandma goes, oh, you don't think I know about these things? I know about these things. Your grandpa and I, we were young once. No, I don't want to know about what U-turns you've seen in the past. You were in government when the Tories were in power, and they did some nasty things. But my favorite, though, were her parting words.
You know what we say in Yorkshire? Crack on with it. Crack on with it and get the job done. And stop talking so much and let's see some action.
Okay, well, look, Baroness...
Now it's your turn.
I have to say, Baroness, would you be Prime Minister?
Yeah, it would have been
She'd
a very different
Crack
time.
on, like we say in Yorkshire. I don't know if I can't do. I won't even try and do the accent. Can you do the York?
All right. There you go, Yorkshire. Well, my original accent's not that different to Yorkshire, because although I'm from Nottinghamshire, I'm from the right at the top of it, so we sound a bit Yorkshire-y.
Yeah. She was great. I'm in love.
So, look, a couple of things. One is, as a broadcaster, I've been in those situations where a guest says, I've got 3 points. And you're like, oh, shit the bed. Now you've said it, I'm going to let you do them all. Oh,
she read the letter from Pfizer for a good, because it's TV. So, I mean, it's even more than radio, I think. Like a good 90 seconds. A good 120 seconds. She was going through. And on page 4-7, it's just like she had it. It was great.
That's happening a lot, though, with loads of guests being on Skype or whichever platform they're using. all of news coverage is about that terrible gap and the inability to interject. It is just ugly. Someone needs to work out a better way of doing it because it's not working. But to the maths, well, stop talking drugs and start talking maths. Here's how I've described it about why you should give 1 dose rather than 2 doses. Because anyone who's had dose 1, of course they're going to be team, give me the second dose. If you only get 1 injection, it's about 70% effective. And if you get 2, it's about 95%. So take 100 people, give all of them a dose. 70 of them will be protected from being infected. That's 30 who might catch it.
Yeah.
Give 50 people 2 doses at 95%. That's like 47.5 or something. So let's call it 48 people who will be immune. 2 people of the 50 could still catch it. But out of that 100, that's 52 people who could catch it. Which is basic math. More than 30.
But am I one of the people that gets both doses? Because if so...
Yeah, you know, is it an episode of Outer Limits or one of those ones, the Twilight Zone, where the guy turns up with a mythical button and you press the button and it gives you a wish, it will grant a wish. But if you press it, a person dies somewhere on the planet. And you don't know if it'll be someone you never meet. It could be a loved one. It could be you. And the thing is, if you never make a wish, you keep the button and the whole thing stops. But if you make the wish, you have to hand it on, and all of a sudden, crap, someone's out there pressing buttons that could kill you. I love the fact that if there was an episode that they filmed with you, it would be about 3 seconds long. This button gives you a wish. What's that? Just wiping out continents. Sorry, what?
Another wish? Don't get another wish. I wish for more wishes.
That could have killed someone. That was my wish. That would be the episode with you.
Just if you killed people, there'd be fewer people left to get the COVID.
Yeah, good point. The
and then we'd
infection
be out
rate
of this
would be
bloody
lower.
lockdown. It's lockdown. More people were dead. Wouldn't need a lockdown, would we?
It makes perfect sense. Listen, if you're enjoying the show, get some messages going on the YouTube, and you can chuck some money in the pot. We've got some messages coming through on
hello, folks.
One of the output things here. In fact, let's see if I can manage to do it here. Here we go. There's
Martin's Shroud is worried that I'm in love with a Baroness. For fuck's sake.
It's not going to go well. Could be worse.
She's hot. Whippersnapper thing. I like that fierce speaker talk.
There's a message from a previous show, but I wanted to read it out. Marion Allen says, Stephen, you don't look very different from when I taught you. That was Marion Allen who taught me at primary school, Precinct Primary in Sutton in Ashfield. And so it's nice that she watches the show. Also, I mean, I guess maybe your internet's not that great. If I wish I looked like I did back then when I had hair and wasn't overweight and, all the misery.
How rough do you look in the north when you're young?
I had a terrible paper round.
My God. Happy New Year to Exquisite Tenderness here. There's loads of comments there. Let's see. I think these are all from here. You two think you'll be doing long shows on here, longer than 30 minutes?
Yeah, nothing else to do.
We could, it's on. If that's too long for you, you can watch it back.
Yeah, if it's too long for you, just watch the first half. Mark says, I love it when Eric says Kofi. Makes him sound so blue collar. Ugh, delightfully low.
Kofi.
Mark says, evening as well. Britt, I spy 2 beards, so Billy Bob, whatever you're called, won't be here tonight, methinks.
It's not. This isn't Billy Bob level. I mean, I haven't shaved since Billy Bob, and that's been what 3-4 weeks.
Really, Struth. You want to take some vitamins?
I mean, because you probably didn't shave this morning, and that's what you've got with your northern. Did you have a beard when you were in primary school?
Yeah, but we all did. I mean, it's the only way to keep warm up there, isn't it?
Help you in the coal mines.
Chris says mathematical method. Look, I'm dropping Pythagoras on here, and Marion Allen could be thanked for that. I'm sure we learnt the basics back then. Britt says primary school children don't need testes. Is that a bollock joke?
I don't think we're allowed to do that. We'll get YouTube seemed to be in a cancelling mood, so we want to stay away from that.
Pythagoras jokes are really good in theorem, says Mark. Steve has gone off on a tangent already. 7 minutes in, tangent, beautiful. Opposite over hypotenuse. Yeah, Yeah, opposite over hypotenuse. Nice.
Jesus.
Opposite over adjacent for tangent. What am I doing? Chris says it's a bad sign. Sign. Sine.
I don't like you working this angle.
Hey.
This is what it is.
Nice.
I put it in there.
Where angle is theta. Where cosine theta plus sine squared theta equals 1. Cos squared sine squared. Let's have a look. It must be a bad sign, says Mark as well. Baboom Tish, says Chris. I love it. We're just doing all the different jokes. Why is he talking about Joe Wicks? Just cause? Cosines wandering there. If anyone can find a hyperbolic cosine or sine pun to do, good luck with that. In fact, hang on, I just thought of one. If anyone could think of a hyperbolic trigonometrical function pun, it would be a real cinch. That's one of them. Hit you over the head like a cosh. That's the other one. Betty Boothroyd, she's just doing the do. Do you bet you don't get that joke, do you, Eric?
No.
Okay, it's a song from the 90s. And I think we're just about up to date.
Good. I'm glad we went down that path.
Math puns, it's the way forward. Look, we're not breaking through with anything else we're doing, so...
You know, we're going to be diversifying, I think, comic solving problems. We're going to be having some different things. Why not have comic solving math problems?
If you have any, especially if they're calculus, send them in. And trig.
You should, you know what? We're starting to have our post show meeting now. You should definitely do a comedy math channel.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
It can be. I mean, you can, because because when you can't sleep at night, what do you stay up and watch?
There's a YouTube channel called Black Pen, Red Pen, where this guy just does crazy calculus, and I love it so much.
See, I just do another thing. I just drink.
No, each to their own, I suppose.
So do subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is there. And of course, as always, if you're enjoying what we're doing, and if you really enjoy maths, you can show us how much you enjoy maths by putting very large numbers in our Ko-fi. If you're thinking, hey, or even if it's not a large number, any number, that'll give Steve something to do because he loves to count. Funny thing is I'm in charge of the accounts for this, but
yeah, I do the tech. Counting. I like maths. I'm not sure I like counting.
Spreadsheets, though.
Yeah. I like a spreadsheet, but I also like, I can integrate. The area under the curve is sexier than just counting.
Sum, average. Those are my people. Right.
Chris, by the way, Chris says all these math jokes will all add up in the end. Right.
There we go. And we haven't come up with a new goal yet to start off the new year. So if anybody wants to check, because Ko-fi, we can have a goal, and we did exceed our goal because I haven't changed it since last year. So if anybody has a goal suggestion for us, we're happy to look at that. Let me see here. We got to our goal, which was to get you space to get your new lorry. Steve, I think you're going to be able to get a parking space because we made that goal by 109%.
Yes, that's my kind of percent.
So don't think that we're done, guys. We're going to come up with a new goal shortly, and so you can suggest one to us in the comments. Should I do my problem?
I think it's time to crack on. Yeah, problem 2. Let's get solving.
There we go. It was hard to know what to call this problem because it's just the problem that should be done in about 15 days, depending on what happens tomorrow or what happens in Georgia. And you know what I'm going to talk about? It's going to be Donald Trump. Now, to get into this, I mean, many people who watch the show may follow U.S. politics or at least have heard about this because it broke news in the UK, it broke news around the world. Donald Trump isn't happy with the election results. And that's a problem for all of us. So what he's decided to do is to call up election officials in various states that he lost, and only the states that he lost. He's not upset with the result in the states that he's won. Funny about that. One of those people is the Georgia Secretary of State, which is the guy in charge of making sure that the vote totals are all the way that they're supposed to be. He happens to be a Republican, which is Donald Trump's party. An hour-long phone call where Donald Trump basically begged for him to find the votes that would put him over the top. And he had many complaints about alleged voter fraud. So there was dead people voting. He said that they were mailing in bad ballots. And he's got a big thing about this machine that they use called Dominion, which he alleges switched votes and did other things, and they've been trying to cover it up. Basically, it was an incredible effort by Donald Trump to stop the election from happening. Now, if you haven't listened to the call, you should listen to the whole thing. It's incredible. But just listen to this one bit where he's talking about the Dominion machines.
That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that?
Now, what's great about that clip is how highly technical Donald Trump can get. Dominion have their machinery. He's just, but it's the pause after he finishes and says, do you know anything about that? There's a 5-second pause. There's about 10 people on this call. It's a conference call. It wasn't a Zoom call. And you can just hear, or you can sense everybody's on that call just going, what is saying? He's the president of the United States. I don't know. Are you taping this shit? Yes, I'm taping this shit. But somebody finally did come back to him here.
That's illegal.
Ryan, Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
No. I mean, no one has spoken that firmly to Donald Trump since Stormy Daniels. It was very direct. What I can tell, though, is he's gone technical, Steve, because you got a machine. And what goes inside of the machine? The inner parts.
Good.
That's what you got, the outer part of the machine, and then you got the magical little elves. Now, it doesn't really matter what he's asking about. He's had all these allegations of fraud, and he's about 6 states that all went for Biden, that he says shouldn't have gone for Biden, and they're going to actually debate that this Wednesday, the 6th of January, in Congress, beyond Georgia. And it's been a big thing in the right-wing media. They've been talking about the fact that, all of these things went wrong, and they brought them to courts, but they haven't been able to get anywhere yet. And here's one of Trump's big supporters talking about why they haven't quite been able to prove anything.
8 weeks from the election, and we still don't have verifiable, tangible support for the crimes that everyone knows were committed. We know that's the case in Nevada. We know it's the case in Pennsylvania and a number of other states, but we have had a devil of a time finding actual proof.
Oh, that's the only thing stopping us from proving these crimes. Proof. I mean, I know that guy was dead, except for the fact I had breakfast with him this morning. Somebody killed that guy, and I just can't prove it. Just need to believe. Now, because Trump has gone on about these claims, and he's gone on to the point where he's basically, it's the classic conspiracy theory propaganda. He's talked about there being fraud to the point where people start going, some people say there's fraud. And everybody's going, yes, it's just Donald Trump. But then enough people go that they heard it from somebody, because bad news spreads quickly, that the officials in Georgia have actually had to address this stuff. So especially the part about the missing parts, remember that? Here's an official from the state of Georgia talking about that.
This is what I don't fully understand. No one is changing parts or pieces out of Dominion voting machines. That's not a real, I don't even know what that means. It's not a real thing. That's not happening. The president mentioned on the call yesterday, or from 2 days ago, that's, again, not real. I don't even know how exactly to explain that.
Here's an official who's just fed up. He's like, people are calling me with wacky shit. I don't even know how to explain that. How do you take the parts out of these machines? What are you even talking about? I mean, not only is the official upset, take a closer look at the sign language guy.
Dominion voting machines.
What does this gesture mean? It's like,
He's not a fan of
that's
Dominion.
how frustrated I was. Why am I up here talking about this? I don't know what that means. I think this actually means Mike Pence. Anyway, he's there for some reason. Now, actually, Steve, I'm pleased to say I wasn't wasting my time when we were on the holidays. The bits of the machine, I have found what Lou Dobbs couldn't find, the guy who was talking before. I have found what the president could find. For comic-solving problems exclusively, I have found visual evidence, proof that they were messing with the machine. There it is. There it is, Steve. Look, and we can even see, look, they were changing the numbers. Look, see, there's a close-up. The numbers were going down. Those were votes for Trump that were going down.
Makes sense.
Total makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, there's a chance that that might not be real. And there is a chance that tomorrow, when Congress meets to do a ceremonial validating of the electoral votes that have already been certified by all the states, so it's basically done and dusted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, there is a chance, because Vice President Pence, remember this guy, is the one who actually oversees the final ceremony. But Trump does have a backup plan, and he tweeted it here. The vice president has the power to reject fraudulently chosen electors. Now, there's only one problem with that, Steve. That is not true. That is not the way it works. But that doesn't stop Trump. But you think, well, Pence, he's gone along with Trump along the way. Maybe he's not this guy. Maybe he's really got, he's a man of faith. Maybe he's going to do better, right? And you think maybe he'll stand up on his own. And then I remembered this incident. There he is. Watch, Trump is going to take the water bottle. He's doing that. Now watch Pence. He is going to take a water bottle. There we go. Wow. That's the kind of man he is. There you go. Trump takes a water bottle. Pence is a good boy. He goes, I take my water bottle. So I would have a lot of faith that Pence is going to save the American democracy.
So what do you think was going on there? Do you think that was a case of Pence is just waiting for the opportunity to get away with theft, or he's thinking my job is to give the president, a wider target for the media, that it's not just him nicking water, I better nick it as well, so we can just say, here's what we do.
Yeah. Well, you found probably the only logical reason they might have done that, because they were getting pictures of themselves taken. But, I mean, if you've seen some of the pictures of Pence looking at Trump longingly, I mean, the only thing that's ever looked at me like that, as affectionately as Pence has looked at Donald Trump, is my dog, which is essentially what he is.
Difficult.
So we're getting 4 more years, Steve.
Enjoy it. I mean, it's been interesting. At the start, you said you didn't know what to title this. I think in some of the outputs, in some of the streams, it's been titled as "A Devil Went Down to Georgia." I think that seems appropriate for what's happened. Look, when that tape of the phone call was leaked, I was sat with the other half on the sofa. She saw it on Twitter. We sat there and had a listen to it. It's big news even over here, and I think this is exciting times, because it's not the only phone call that Donald Trump had that's been leaked. The audio of another, I would say potentially more embarrassing, potentially more politically damaging, was leaked when he called a certain help centre because it looks like he's got some issues. I think I'm being told by my earpiece we can go to that audio now.
Hello, Paranoia Helpline. How can I help you?
The people of Georgia are angry.
Okay, is the voice that's in your head speaking to you in a Georgia accent?
The people of the country are angry.
Oh, so there's more than one voice. How many voices do you hear?
11,780.
Oh, dear, that is enough to qualify you as insane.
There's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Even if we recounted, that's still not the issue. I think 11,780 voices is quite
Which is one more than we have.
Okay, 11,779 voices. It's quite a lot. What do you think brought on this bout of paranoia?
I won this election by hundreds of thousands of votes.
Oh, I see. Delusions. Well, that can be upsetting. We can help you.
I know you would like to get to the bottom of it, although
Yes.
I saw you on television today and you said that you found nothing wrong. I mean,
Right. You think we're talking to you through your television? Oh, dear. What's upsetting you?
That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery.
Oh, it's pronounced Domino's, and...
Do you know anything about that?
Yes. It's a pizza place. Those mopeds are just delivering food.
Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
We've been through this, haven't we? That's not the reason that you couldn't get the high score at Pac-Man.
You sure?
Yes.
Give me a break.
Well, we may have to. Please hold the line, and I'll just put you through to our special spa department. Oh, poor man thinks he's the president.
Damning audio indeed.
Yep, very much so. Very much so. He does think he's the president, at least for another 15 days.
He'll still think he's the president afterwards, let's be honest.
He will. Years ago, apparently before he even ran for office, one of his man servants kind of said that if he ever noticed Donald Trump was feeling blue, he would put on the presidential song that they play when the president, Hail to the Chief, when he enters the room to cheer him up.
Oh my days. Imagine that. It's that guy's fault then, isn't it? If he'd have picked a different song, like Here Come the Hot Stepper, then it would have meant that Donald Trump became a murderer. So actually, maybe not. You've got no idea what I'm doing again, have you? That's another one of those songs. Okay.
Song. Is it Kenny G?
It's not. Slightly more up to date than Betty Boop, but not by much. So I'm still seeming old, and yet somehow more.
But we're going for the kids with this show. That's why we're talking about current shows like The Twilight Zone and other media references.
And
I think it's good.
Inika Mosey with Here Come the Hot Stepper, murderer. I'm the lyrical gangster, murderer. Excuse me, Mr. Officer, murderer. No? Okay.
I believe you, though.
It's important. Right, let's have a look. Some more equally wood. No, I better work out where that one started.
I do see one comment here that is a good idea, Steve, and I don't know who Victoria is, but we're nicking this. Drunk comics solving math problems.
Interesting. Although you're the only one who gets drunk out of the two of us, and I'm the only one who's going to solve some of these.
You don't have to be. You could be the one. You could be the straight man getting comics drunk and giving them math problems. You could even give them math problems.
Just be a shorter show.
Make it international. We could make it international. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got numbers everywhere.
I think the COVID monster has the box. Not incredibly. The COVID monster, the box, the Twilight Zone one. Making the wish. COVID. Let's see what's happening there.
There we go.
All these maths jokes rather square. I have my calculus on my hands. I know that's calluses. Cheers, Britt. Go
on. Martin says the goal is to buy a scientific calculator.
Don't need one. Got many. Well,
I got one on the iPhone. Does it just flip it the other way?
I love math so much. Because we both go on talk radio every so often and argue things, and I think I won a round of arguing by deliberately including the phrase exponential maths to make it very difficult for the host to come back to me. I think I was using those words, knowing that about a year ago now, I guess, I was brought on the show to explain what exponential growth would be. It's just having the variable and the exponent, but I'd made it seem more complicated than that and deliberately used it today just so that I could win one.
You could just try and win an argument.
Yeah. And get away with it.
See how you play these things. That's why I don't argue with you.
Just use maths. Chris says, first Star Trek reference of the year. What, when Eric said Dominion? Nice.
Nice. Comics donating bodily fluids is apparently another suggestion. Are we getting? Is that a goal or is that a show title from Exquisite Tenderness?
I'm not quite sure. Kofi goal. I mean, it might be a goal for other areas of our life, but not for Kofi.
Yeah.
Donald Trump must feel out of place in Georgia. A lone orange in the peach state. Nice. Ooh. Oh, what a clash, though. Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, those colors don't go together. Even I know that. Let's see. What's Britt said here? Viagra won't make you James Bond in bed, but it could make you Roger.
More.
Oh, more. I missed the word more. It wasn't on my screen yet.
Those moments where you think you're pitching your wagon to another comedian to do a comedy show. I'm sure we've all got the basic training, the basic skills. Everyone knows this, the standard functions of jokes. I'm sure we'll have a crack at this.
I couldn't see the last word.
You didn't need. I'm sorry, you did not need the last word. If someone, as a trained comedian, sets you up with Viagra won't make you James Bond, but it will make you Roger.
Well, because Roger means sex.
No, I get. Let me check my notes again. Wait a minute, I was wrong all these years. Now I get the joke.
It's very difficult for me to read.
I still say you probably didn't need to be able to read all of that joke to be able to deliver it.
There was a delay in the Skype. I said it, but it
were you buffering?
It lagged. Yeah, it was buffering.
Yeah.
I'm Roger. More.
Roger.
That's what happens.
More.
I'm mentally buffered.
Mark Randall gives you a face palm.
Oh, thanks, Mark. I was going for a coffee, and I got a face palm.
Yeah. Please do donate. Give whatever you can, but do give, and it will all help.
My sight reading.
So one more story from me. It's not a big one. I just thought we'd be able to chat about this one because, look, the theme for the next few shows, I imagine, is going to be the lockdown and how it is difficult again, and that's where we all started. And hopefully this show in some way provides what I think we try and do with a lot of our work, some humour whilst talking about the nastiness of what we have to deal with. There are many downsides to do with just modern day life. Like, it wasn't that long ago when we started doing this, and that just seems to have zoomed by. I remember when I used to go outside the house and get to sit down next to people. Like, you'd be in a place and people would be relatively near you. My God, I mean, it's just zoomed by since then. I imagine not having to wear a mask. Life seems to zoom by, and A lot of it is because we get older. So again, a little bit of maths thing. But what that is that as you get older, let's get rid of that off the screen. As you get older, a year is worth less than as a fraction of the rest of your life. When you're 1 year old, 1 year is 100% of your life. When you're 50, all of a sudden it's only a 50th. So it can make you feel old to know that life is just zooming by. Well, not anymore, as I've found a new story to make you feel a little bit better about that effect. The year 2021 is set to fly by as the Earth is spinning faster than at any time in the past 50 years.
What?
Yeah! Woo! It explains why all of a sudden everything's zooming by, isn't it? I mean, it also explains why I've been feeling a little bit giddy. It's prompted scientists for the addition of a negative leap second. We are going to miss 1 second. Well, great. I mean, that was my lion knackered. So, I mean, imagine all that extra time that we just kind of lose. It's going to be a nightmare. So the atomic clocks that can accurately record how long every day is at the millisecond level since the invention in the 70s, days have been getting slightly longer than 24 hours. We've had some leap seconds put in to make up for that. But since halfway through last year, the Earth's spin has accelerated. We are now 0.5 milliseconds a day shorter than 24 hours. No wonder I don't get all my to-do list done. Good God. So I was trying to work out, why do you think the Earth is spinning faster? Where's the extra angular momentum coming from? Where's the energy coming from?
Are you asking?
I mean, I don't know why I was.
Because I've gained weight? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Is that what this is? Is this a Eric's fat joke? Is that what
it can't be about our weight. Look, we've all gained weight. However, the weight was already on the planet. You know, if you've eaten a cow, the weight has just gone from the field and into your chair, but it's still the same. The planet weighs about the same. I've got a couple of theories. One of them is we discussed this on radio earlier today, and we had one suggestion that back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, people played LPs, records, and CDs, and they all spin, which means they work as a gyroscope, impeding the rotation of the Earth. Whereas now, MP3s. No gyroscopes.
Nope.
Probably not that. My theory is this. You know how if you're spinning in a chair and you put your arms out, you go slower, and if you tuck your arms in, you go quicker?
Yep.
I think people must be getting shorter.
Okay.
Because taller people would slow things down, and then since halfway through last year, I guess no one's standing up anymore.
So that's what it is?
I think that's my theory, and unless you want to do the maths and prove me wrong, which I'm sure you would be able to, I'm sticking to it. Lockdown's making the planet spin. We could really get this bugger shifting if we all lay on the floor.
So maybe that's why climate change is happening, actually, is because the Earth is going faster and the climate is just spinning off the Earth.
Oh, so you think climate change is a problem of us losing climate?
Well, yeah, because we have less of it.
Oh, there's less climate.
And so
there's more change.
It's changing because it's going faster, just like, the woo.
So scream if you want to get less climate, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
if you want. Yeah. So more climate, no screaming.
So because in space, no one can hear you scream, alien.
Yeah.
But on a planet with less atmosphere, fewer people can hear you scream.
Correct.
Makes sense, yeah.
And you can't prove me wrong because, like the president, you don't have any proof, and neither do I.
Therefore, you must be right.
Yep. 4 more years.
Somehow, it's got a theory from Mark that says all treadmills in gyms face west. Already, I like this. This already checks out. As more people have used treadmills in the last 30 years, their running is literally dragging the world round more quickly. Yep.
More.
It's always worth saying more at the end of a sentence because every so often it pays off and you nail that joke.
Could be. Did I get the timing right on that one?
Yeah, definitely. What was this? Maybe the goal should be to buy Eric a history of the top 20 of the UK for the past 2 decades. And we'll give it to him on CD because that way it'll just slow the planet back down.
We got a CD player or DVD player. One or the other. I don't know.
Well, you really are on the cutting edge, the bleeding edge of technology, aren't you? A DVD player, you say?
Yep. But a DVD we wanted to watch. We didn't have one. And so you can get them for like 10 quid.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's just, you just plug it into the computer.
What does DVD stand for?
The little circular videos you can watch.
Yeah. What do the letters stand for in DVD?
Digital video disc.
No, but very close. It was a solid guess, but apparently it's versatile.
What is it?
Digital versatile disc.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Versatile. We use video instead of versatile in America.
Oh, that makes more like math and maths.
Yeah.
God, it's like a different language, isn't it? I think Exquisite was right. Since we got over that half-past mark, we're enjoying it more than everyone else.
Yeah. Mark's suggesting you could buy me a cassette player attachment for my Betamax. I prefer if it was for my 8-track player.
That'd be nice.
That was my first radio, was an 8-track. Do you remember 8-track?
No, that was definitely before my time.
Yeah. Hall & Oates was my first 8-track.
Brilliant. So that's almost modern. That's better than Kenny G. What Hall & Oates song can you remember?
God, I can't remember. It was 40 years ago. It was a long time ago.
The reason for speed up, says Britt, must be due to all the removed inner parts put to work behind a wall, and the ultimate proof: Trump needs a cough.
More.
And brilliant. I think we're up to date with a lot of the
yes,
lot of the messages.
We're well over our time. But we are back on Thursday. And what's exciting is after Thursday, tomorrow will be Wednesday, and Vice President is going to deny Biden the presidency and make Donald Trump king. So
it's going to be so good.
Should be exciting on Thursday if we want to see that. You put the drink up there, Steve. Any suggestions on drinkage?
I would say, look, if it's a brand new year, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. If you'd like to chuck a couple of quid in our pot, it is, by the looks of things, thanks to a certain lockdown, the only way we'll be earning money.
Good times. But regardless of that, you can also subscribe to the channel, tell people about the show, watch all our previous clips. We did specials over Christmas, which you can still catch up on, talking about Trump, talking about the end of the year, that kind of thing. And yeah.
Oh, if you search for what's it called? Lasted another year despite a pandemic. I've been doing a round of radio interviews, plugging my little ebook, which I mean, even in the book, I do say, like, I don't want to jinx next year as a joke. Like, oh, look at me, I'm pretending to jinx it. So it turns out I've got the gift, and I can ruin things for people. So buy a copy of the book on ebook, it's on Kindle, or I'll jinx you by saying something.
You'll write another one.
There is a chance.
There we go. Right. Well, we will be. Well, look at that. You've got a review there. Chris Curling says it is a good read.
I'll take that. Why, thank you very much.
And I'll be honest with you, Steve, we've done shows together for almost 10 years now. We've worked together on many different platforms. I haven't read the book.
No, that's fine. Although I've also not sent you a free copy. So
I'm not buying one.
No, exactly. More because I wouldn't expect you to buy it. And I've struggled with that. So I've got some author copies that I can give out, but I've not been able to do that because I can't find a way of phrasing it that's not like, so, I've got a book out. Why don't you read it? Oh, God.
That's what you got to do. That's what you've written a book now, so you have to talk like that and you have to do that.
Oh, I would feel embarrassed to kind of, if someone would ask, if someone in my life goes, oh, can I have a copy? Yeah, of course. But the idea of trying to, someone said I should give them away as gifts. Oh my, I might as well just give people framed pictures of my face. It just seems terrible.
I wouldn't call that a gift. So go with the book.
All right. More. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thursday, 9:00.
Thursday, we'll be here. Check us out. Thanks very much.
Till then, bye.
Bye.